Okay guys, so in today's video I have this beautiful 2011 Jaguar XJL in the shop. It belongs to a friend of mine. He recently just picked this thing up and the paint is hammered, guys. Hammered. It's definitely seen better days. I'm gonna go ahead and try and show you guys some of the before and then we'll talk about a game plan, what my idea is of what I'm gonna do to correct this. We're not going for a full correction here. We're going for an enhancement. So we're gonna try and do the fastest enhancement. We're gonna find the least aggressive, least, most one-step process we can do to get the paint looking good. I don't know if that's gonna be achievable. The paint is really bad, so I'm gonna shoot for that, but if I have to, I'm gonna go into a two-step and actually get this thing looking better. So, but let's go ahead and show you guys the paint. So really quickly, I just wanna interrupt the video just to dive in a little bit deeper into the explanation of why the paint looks so bad. If you're new to detailing, this will be fresh to you. If you're not new to detailing, you already understand this concept, but maybe this will kind of help simplify it so you can explain it to your customers even better. So basically, the reason the paint looks so bad is all those micro scratches and everything else like that in the clear coat. So what that does, guys, is I did a nice little drawing here for you. Disregard this stuff up here, but just this part here. There we go. If we were to be looking down, okay, so we're next to the car, we're looking down at the hood, right? From the side. If we were to zoom in to this portion here, under a microscope, this is what we're gonna see. So you have your basic parts of the paint job. So you have your base coat or primer on the bottom. You have your paint color here, and then this is your clear coat. This is where I live in, as a detailer, I live in the clear coat. I do not live in the paint. If anything, any scratch goes down deeper and actually goes into the paint color, that's where we're gonna be doing touch-ups and things like that. I can't do anything to correct that with a polisher. I only can do what I can within the clear coat. So basically what it is, and you see in the video, I don't know if it already happened or if it's gonna happen, but I take an inspection light and I kind of come across and I'm looking at it and that light is reflecting down and I'm seeing the reflection come back up, right? So if the paint is perfectly clear and no scratches are there to hinder the reflection, then this is what's coming out of the light and what comes back should be here exactly the same, right? Because of all these scratches though, here, let me erase this, but basically what it is because of all those scratches in the paint, the light is reflecting down and then it's getting absorbed by all of these little scratches, all these little hard angles. So it's kind of coming up like this. Okay, so the image that you're getting in the other side of the light when you're looking into the paint is you'll see the main light and then you'll see all these scratches and everything else around it. That's why you get those swirl reflection lights. It's not that there are scratches in a circular pattern necessarily on the paint. It's that the light is reflecting off of all these little scratches in the clear coat, and that's why you're getting that look. It makes the paint look dull. It just looks terrible all across the board. So what we're doing today on this car is an enhancement. Now, there's two ways to think about that. There is, okay, so here we are, right? An enhancement, especially the product 3D Speed, it's a glaze, polish, protectant, all in one. So what that does, polish was going to help soften all these edges. Okay, so now we're not getting that really strong, harsh angle reflection back up. It'll soften these edges. It will also take down the top layer a little bit because we're polishing it out. So it's gonna take down the top layer, it's gonna soften the edges of the deeper scratches, and then since it has a glaze, that has some filling properties. So it helps to fill in these with polymers and things like that so that you don't notice them as much. And that's gonna give us, instead of this crazy effect like that across the paint, it's gonna do this, essentially. Just very, very simplified, right? But now the light's gonna reflect up and we might have a little wonk here and there because it's not 100% perfect, but the enhancement portion of this job is to make it change from looking terrible in that reflection to making it look almost perfect, maybe a couple little things here and there, but overall it should be perfect. The other side of the coin, guys, and this is not what we're doing today,
But when you're doing a paint correction, not enhancement, but an actual correction, your job is to cut through all of this stuff. So you do want to be careful, but basically you're going to take a compound or a heavy cutting polish or something like that, and you're going to cut out all of this stuff. Okay, so it removes all of these crazy marks and everything else. Now you're going to be left with some random defects that are too deep for you to deal with. You don't want to go all the way down in that clear coat if you don't have to. It's better for the customer to live with a tiny scratch than for you to take that clear coat all the way down and they don't have much clear coat left. So you kind of work with that. Now when you are doing a full correction, typically you're cutting in to remove all that stuff, and when you're cutting in, you're leaving a little bit of haze on that top coat. That is because the aggressive compound is leaving a little bit of stuff behind. It's cutting in deep to get all the way down to that, and then you have all these little microscopic scratches in there as well. So then you go with a polish, and that's gonna clean all that stuff up, make it nice and perfect, and that's how you get that perfect finish. Better than a new car typically, unless it's a really, really high-end car. But if it's a normal car, Ford, whatever else that's out on the lot, as soon as those things get checked into the dealership, they do their pre-inspection and they're removing the protective covers, they're wiping them down, they're inducing scratches. So a lot of times when we do a full correction, that's when you hear the customer saying, wow, this thing looks way better than it did new. That's the reason we're removing all those imperfections. Again, today we're doing an enhancement, so let's jump back into the video.
I mean, as you can see, guys, right through here, there is heavy scratching. And it is all surface. It just looks like that it was not taken care of properly. It's either improper wash techniques combined with tunnel car washes and things like that. And it just ate into the paint, you know, it just scratched the paint everywhere. So actually, let me go ahead and, I mean, you can see everything. It's just nasty. Okay guys, so we have a light here. I mean, all these little scratches create that nice holographic swirl that you can see there. There's definitely some deeper spots of marring. That looks like it, you know, something actually ate through the paint. We're not going to deal with that because we're doing more of an enhancement on this than a full correction. But as you can see, guys, just every single surface panel of this car is hammered. So let's go around the sides here. We'll go around to the trunk lid. So if I mean, even without the inspection light, you can just see all of that stuff that is just shouldn't be there. It makes the car look dull. It just, you know, it's not doing the car any favors. All right, guys, so as I described, all those scratches and things like that are just in the clear coat, and they cause the light to reflect off of it in a terrible way. Makes it look dull, makes it look bad. It really shows all those scratches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and, I'm gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna start with a one step. I'm actually just gonna use 3D speed. We're gonna see what that comes out to. It's definitely gonna be an improvement, but is it gonna be enough? I don't know. I'll play with the pads. Instead of using a polishing pad, I might use more of a cutting pad or right in between there and try and finish that out in one step. Okay guys, so in order to work on this car, I'm going to be using a 15mm throw polisher. This is a dual action polisher, so you don't have to really worry about burning the paint. If you get crazy, you potentially could, but they're typically very safe machines. Now, every car's clear coat is a little bit different. Certain brands have harder clear coats than others. Some are really soft. So that varies what I'm gonna have to do in the polishing process. So to start, I'm going to be using a kind of a mid-range, it's between a polishing and a cutting pad. And I'm gonna be using that with 3D speed. So we're gonna go ahead and try out a section. I'll do a portion here, then I'll go and go in deeper if that doesn't look good. And then we'll test it and see what the right course of action will be for this car. So first things first, guys, you always want to line up your pad really nicely so that it spins consistently all the way around. Good to go. I'll link all this stuff down in the description for you guys as well, the polisher I'm using and all that kind of good stuff. I have my towels ready, I have my polisher ready, and the whole purpose of this video is really to show you guys, especially the DIYer at home, if your car's just not looking as good as it should, if it's not getting that shine, a lot of people think they can just apply a product and it'll get the shine back. That's not the case. You actually have to level back out that paint, correct the, fix all those imperfections.
And you can either do that by cutting them completely out or using a product that has some filler. Now 3D Speed has correcting abilities, but it also has a glaze, so it does help hide some imperfections. For your daily driver, I really find it's a fantastic choice. Now guys, if you've never polished a car before using a dual action, the reason it's safe is because it is geared in that sense, but it also spins freely. So meaning if you're sitting on a panel and you're putting too much pressure or you're sitting on it too, basically if you're putting too much pressure, it'll bog and it'll just kind of vibrate. It's not constantly spinning, so you're not generating all of that heat, which can potentially burn the paint. Also, the path that you want to take when you're polishing to make sure that you're covering every surface area, you're going to want to spread out your material first, the polish or compound or whatever you're using. So the pattern you want to use is you take the polisher, imagine this whole thing right behind me or right in front of me is the panel of the car. So we're going to run up the car, just like so. We're going to come over halfway, come back down, halfway, come back up, halfway, come back down. Then we'll go back across and do the same exact pattern, halfway up, halfway up, halfway up. That ensures that we're getting every single portion of the panel, and you get the best results. Sometimes you need to sit on it longer than other times, depending again on the clear coat and the polish and pad you're using. So let's get into it. So in order to start this pad, like I said, it's kind of a mid-range, so I'm putting a lot of product on it right now. I'm gonna go ahead and always put your cord behind your shoulder so it's not rubbing against the car. And I'm just gonna spread it out right now, just kind of lightly dab it around the paintwork. I'm gonna take my polisher all the way down to number 1 or 2, turn it on and spread it. Once it's spread, I'll bump it up and then on the speed, and then we'll go and do our passes. All right, so we're all spread out now. And I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up and I'm gonna start doing my process. You typically do wanna use, the industry recommendation is like a 2 foot by 2 foot square of polish. Once you get comfortable polishing, you can expand that and work it and figure out what works best for you. But in this case, I'm gonna just use this 2 by 2 foot panel, and here we go. All right, you're done with the polishing phase. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this out. Now again, guys, we're going for enhancement, not complete correction, enhancement on this one. So I'm gonna pull you guys off the tripod and show you. Alrighty guys, here we go. Let me get this thing to focus on you. Okay, so here is the hood, right? This is the portion that I have not done yet. And as you can see, all the scratching, holograms, everything else, we'll go up to the part that I have polished. And again, there's some random defects in there, but overall, that looks fantastic in comparison to that. But as you can see from this direction as well, guys, I mean, it's just fantastic in comparison to that area. So let's get the light on it. So here it is before and after. Before and after. Wait, my mistake. After, before. Before, after. So I'm happy with that, guys, on this vehicle. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. This is gonna be a daily driver. He doesn't wanna spend a ton of money on this thing. So having the option of running it in a one step like that, I'm able to keep my hours down. I'm able to keep my material costs down because I'm sticking to one product. I don't have to switch between a bunch of pads. Now I will rotate between pads as they get dirty, but that's gonna give him the result that he's looking for at a cheaper price, and that's what I wanna do, right? I wanna bring value to my customers. Now, if you're doing this at home, much more simple, right? You need that one polish, you need a good polisher, and some towels, and what else do we need? Oh, and the pads. But that is it, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and
work my way all the way around this thing. Yeah, I'm very happy with how that's looking. I mean, for a one pass, that's pretty good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw you guys on the tripod. I'm gonna get to work on this thing. I'm limited on time. I gotta get to a family birthday party later today. He's trying to come and pick this thing up, so let's get after it. All right, guys, so I just finished up. Again, is it perfect? Absolutely perfect? No. Is it 99% better? Yes. Is the customer going to be happy with this thing? Extremely. Does it look like a completely different car? Absolutely. So I'm gonna give you a quick walk around of this thing and we'll be all done with this one. All right, guys, sorry, the sun's right in my face, but this is something that you guys can do very, very easily on your own. Obviously, if you're a professional, you understand the process behind a one-step. But if you're a DIYer looking to make your car look much, much better at home, it's very, very easy. Again, I'll link all the description link all the products that I used down in the description below. But that's it, guys. I hope that helps you, and we'll see you on the next one.